So we come to the grand final after Wales enjoys celebration. Well, they won the bowl final here last year, won the bowl in Dubai, and they won the plate final in Hong Kong. They're on a roll and they're collecting silverware everywhere. Credit to them. But now the big one. It's these old opponents. Let's put it in context. New Zealand have been every cup final in South Africa until last year, whether here in Durban or Stellenbosch in the early years. But for South Africa, it's their first ever cup final in the South African tournament, and the crowd just cannot wait. They've beaten New Zealand in their last 3 encounters. New Zealand haven't beaten them since Singapore, the semi-final 2005. Well, I don't want to be a bearer of ill tidings or omens, but the last time New Zealand beat South Africa in a cup final, it was London 2002. The scoreline was 54-14. Joel Stransky is alongside me. I don't think either of us expect to see anything like that again.
No, certainly not. That doesn't seem like it'll happen today, not in these conditions anyway. There is the New Zealand team. Big, strong and powerful. Edwin Cocker, Solomon King, DJ Fords, Lotte, Raikambulu, Nigel Hunt, Alfred Pelanisa and Zara Lawrence. A team built with strength, probably lacking a real out-and-out speedster. South Africa have got a few, interestingly enough, there, Nigel, and I know you're going to ask about it. Philip Berger being left on the bench to start with. Gone with Jonathan McQueen, Dusty Noble, who's quite abrasive, Skalk van der Merwe, Kabamba Fleurs, Renford Dozel, Stefan Basson, who's not played a whole lot today, and Reno Benjamin. I've got a feeling Paul True will be thinking, let's get that physical bit out the way, let's contest, and then bring Philip Berger on to use his out-and-out pace.
So here they come. Well, the jacaranda's in full bloom. The fairways are lush, the putting green's immaculate, and the rugby sevens have been a sellout. And here, the fairy tale final with the Springbok squad. Kabamba Floors, the hometown hero, Jonathan Mokoena, a very good captain, and here New Zealand. Very physical, certainly outgunned Fiji, to everyone's surprise, the margin of victory, and a tight, tough encounter for South Africa beating England in the semi.
Well, the little man in your picture, you may be wondering who he is, and now he's snuck into the little huddle in the middle of the field there. His name is Robert Lowe. He's a reach for a dream young lad who has overcome some serious illness, and wonderful to see him out there with some of his heroes.
Wonderful to see this man too in charge. The first full-time professional Japanese referee, Teizo Hirabayashi from Tokyo. He has made his mark and now has this single honor, and I know he's thrilled about it. Seeing him earlier today when he heard, it really is a marvelous thing. We see players around the world growing from, if you like to call, the lesser nations in rugby terms. Here we have a referee who has been given the signal accolade as referee for this final, and we're off and away, straight away too, with South Africa in possession. Renford Dozel was the first to get hands-on. And there's a penalty straight off as New Zealand failed to stay on their feet. It's quickly taken and it's away by Rhino Benjamin. Kabamba Floors, the crowd already at fever pitch. Floors, it went backwards, and it's on to Mokoena. Jonathan Mokoena, who's had such a marvellous season, excelled in the Currie Cup, and on it goes with Skalk van der Merwe to the playmaker Basson. And wide. No Berger, no Damas, but this match quick, so nearly through. Big defences here. Can anyone contain Dusty Noble? They hurry back, great hands from Basson. Basson goes on the switch. Well, it was meant to be with Mokoena. Super tackling, no less than you'd expect. The breakthrough, Skalk van der Merwe to drive to the line, the first try of the final. What a start for the Springboks.
Brilliant start, fast and furious and very physical. The Boks look like they are taking on New Zealand at their own game. They ran it up the middle a couple of times and made it physical and went wide, and Skalk van der Merwe showed a real turn of speed for a big guy. Got a good low body position, drove it in the corner, certainly grounded it. A perfect start for South Africa, the home crowd delighted.
The perfect start. And now from the touchline, Stefan Basson will drift to the right, but it's something that Gordon Tietjens always wants New Zealand to do first, and that's to score first. But it was this try that gave South Africa the lead. How well taken. And as we assess, Paul True has been canny here in picking the powerful men to cope with the physicality of New Zealand. It's a clear intent and entirely understandable, having seen the way that they were up front and physical against Fiji and outgunned them.
I think the other aspect is Jan Thijsbergen missed a couple of tackles in the semi-final, and you can't afford to miss tackles in a final.
A little knockback is by Solomon King, and here on the break, my player of the tournament last week and possibly this, Nigel Hunt. Nigel Hunt tries to get the offload. It went backwards, but it didn't go to hand. New Zealand have it, almost desperately. Van der Merwe back there, and he hasn't released it. Penalty. Zar Lawrence poised 5 metres out from the Springbok line.
Rainer Benjamin came steaming across and made a fantastic tackle.
And boy, was it needed. This is Nigel Hunt. He has been a find and a half. He scored in every round in this tournament, just as he did in Dubai. Moves on to Zar Lawrence. Lotte Rai Kambula loves to go head first. The Maori sidestep, in other words, no sidestep, straight up the middle. Zar Lawrence, Nigel Hunt. They're well shadowed here, well covered. The drive is by Solomon King. The big tackles coming in. Mokoena as well as Dusty Noble. The ball is free. Edwin Cocker wide from the captain. DJ Forbes to Rai Kambula to Pelanese. Pelanese goes on the outside. The little handoff on Benjamin. He's round behind. Good score. It's level. 10 minutes each way, remember. It's a long, long time.
Hand-to-hand stuff. Too much pace on the outside. Benjamin had got across earlier and made a good tackle, but the strong handoff, quite possibly the quickest man in this New Zealand side, Alfred Palanisa, with a good handoff, some good pace, and altogether a well-worked try. Difficult to stop any team. The skill and power that New Zealand have from 5 or 6 metres out.
This for the lead. Rai Kambula has missed, but still on that knife edge. I just fancy this might go the distance on a knife edge.
I think you're right. Different contrasting styles of playing. New Zealand set up the try very well. Benjamin was always stretching. Palanisa was always going to score. Good finish.
Well, we think back to last week, only a week. Dubai. New Zealand led 12-0. South Africa won 31-12. South African supporters don't panic yet. Zadan Omen, Kabamba floors knocking on. Oohs and ahs of disbelief. This home crowd here in George.
Well, the expectations of playing at home are also so much bigger. The pressure is mounting. South Africa have just conceded only their 3rd try of the whole tournament.
Remarkable defensive record, that is. Nigel Hunt putting pressure on his own players. They're on the retreat, they're closed down. Zar Lawrence went backwards, says the referee. Hirabayashi, how good he has been in his first 7 tournaments. South Africa to the safe hands of Stefan Basson. Mokoena wide, Kabamba floors. Rai Kambula forward pass. Just a forward pass. Oops again, of boos of disappointment, disbelief. Pressures on the referee too.
Well, the error's creeping in. Is it forward? It's marginal. Not really good to see from our angle.
No, impossible.
But the decision has gone against South Africa. If it's that close that the ref can't call it forward, it's got to be an error.
Keep hold.
New Zealand have the attacking position and the momentum.
Mokoena floors. Van der Merwe, cleverly done by Hunt. Rai Kambula with a bit of momentum, a bit of steam up. Still the pressure on South Africa, pinned in their 22, but the breakout. It's a penalty back though, a penalty back as Benjamin goes on that race for glory, but to be frustrated.
From the side is the call. South Africa not only making the errors, but now costing themselves in the discipline. Well, Benjamin has certainly come around from the side. That one of the Kiwis is down and needing a bit of attention. It's Rai Kambula.
How this tournament has grown. Packed stands, packed terraces, a full house here in the hope of seeing South Africa win their own tournament for the first time. This is the 8th series. A penalty now, not released quickly enough. And another 10 metres. Edwin Cocker will claim not intentional, but they're coming back 10 metres further. And Hirabayashi just saying, keep quiet. You'll be in trouble. Zip it, I think is the colloquial phrase. Mokoena And Noble, oh, it's out of the hands of Benjamin. You cannot afford errors, but, you know, we can't overestimate the tension here, can we?
Certainly not. It is. You can almost cut it with a knife. It's tangible, really. The crowd are oohing and eyeing. The players are out there. Benjamin's knocked it on. The second error in a couple of minutes. Kabamba floors with the first. And all the time, every time you make an error, the pressure mounts even more.
Well, you'll know as well as any other the importance of a turnover, a free possession of a scrummage like that, Zara Lawrence, when you're on the defence. Oh, but the players are more intent on cancelling out each other than getting hands on the ball. It really is tight and tense.
Dusty Noble, I think if he'd been watching the ball, he may well have made the intercept and been away. But very intent on getting up, getting man and ball, because one-on-one in this form of the game with so much space, very difficult to make every single tackle.
The hands of experience here. Oh, beautifully floated pass and away with Rhino Benjamin. He's got pace, but there's a slippery surface, but there's brilliant support coming in, and it's Schalk van der Merwe on now with Dusty Noble. Noble to Basson. He's quick, he's dangerous, elusive little customer, but look at Cocker coming through with the tackle. And then tantalisingly close, that pass, not quite hung on to by Schalk van der Merwe.
Well, South Africa making the clean breaks, not finishing off on this occasion. Rhino Benjamin all the way through, tried to step, he had Basson on his inside, just needed to make that pass. Support was pretty good. Van der Merwe knocked it on ultimately.
Well, you're with us, I know, all around the world here, live. And we're in George, this beautiful city in the Southern Cape. And what a final, what a tournament it's been this last 2 days. All down to this 44th and final test. South Africa and the former champions here of 2 years ago, who are back on the glory trail, which eluded them last season. They didn't make a final, but they're in the second final in a row. The same opponents, South Africa, who certainly doused the fire of New Zealand in that second half to win comfortably. The battle rages. Nigel Hunt, now Zara Lawrence. This is the captain, DJ Forbes, downed by Dusty Noble. Lawrence again.
Let go! Let go!
Got a release.
Let go!
Let go, says referee Habashi, and Stefan Basson frustrated in that. So Hunt is with it, looks to offload, but no one close at hand. Cocker eventually. Once more Lawrence. Now it's Rai Kambula. Beats one tackle. The attempt of Dusty Noble. Back comes Basson climbing all over him. Cocker. We're coming to the last half minute of an electrifying first half. Really two powerful teams cancelling each other out. Pelanice. This time they've got a try apiece, but no one can break the stranglehold. 5 apiece.
Let go!
Edwin Cocker, the captain, Forbes, Rai Kambula, the find of last season by Gordon Teachins, the coach. Nigel Hunt is quick. He's going to make it surely. Kabamba floors covers, but Hunt in the end can coast in and celebrate the lead for the first time to New Zealand.
Well, it was a sort of dummy switch, really. The switch came and he went round the back of where the contact had been. Very clever play. Nigel Hunt, Pelamiso came across a little dummy swap. The switch and racked back around behind. Almost impossible to defend against. Once he got away, no one was going to catch him.
7 tries in Dubai last week, although they lost in the final, and now a try in every round here in George.
Thank you very much.
Well, he's been my player of the tournament. I don't know what the majority verdict's going to be, but that is an important score just on the stroke of half-time. This will be the last play of the first 10 minutes. It's 10-5, but that is as nothing. A lead of 5 points can evaporate in the blink of an eye.
Well, this is where it all happened. The little coming across at the field from Rakambula, and then Hunt ran in behind the contact situation and finished fantastically well.
And I think he picked his man there, didn't he? He knew, I think it was Van der Merwe.
He had the big fella in front of him, and also Van der Merwe had turned already and was facing the wrong direction.
Nail-biting stuff. Terrific finale. 2 class acts, and it's 10-5. New Zealand looking to avenge the defeat in the final last week. but they were 12-0 up then. Admittedly, it was a water splash, but here's Paul True now. Let's listen in if we can. And Gordon Titchens, the man who is, well, the master of coaching sevens, who's been in charge of New Zealand's squad since 1994, former Bay of Plenty coach and player, and played for Waikato and for New Zealand in the Hong Kong sevens. Knows everything there is to know about sevens rugby. Holds Paul True in high regard. Nigel Hunt, the guy who set out playing rugby on the beach with a coconut in Samoa, and what a whole sequence of outstanding sevens exponents we've seen from the Pacific Islanders who become New Zealand citizens. Teizo Hirabayashi then. 10 minutes to go and all to be decided. 10 points to 5. The team in black lead, the men in Gein and Goud.
Not bad.
Kabamba Floors. Well, is there to be a fairy tale finish for him? South Africa never having won their home tournament in this 8th season.
Let go. Use the feet.
Zar Lawrence, Nigel Hunt. He's quick. We've got Danwell Damas on for South Africa. Inside is Pelani's great cover from the box. But Hunt's there again. The pressure's still on. Zar Lawrence using a man as a decoy, and Zar Lawrence is going to get there beyond the Damas. And that's a big score. It's 2 scores clear now that New Zealand go.
Big score, and advantage was being played. Jonathan McRae awfully slow to get back offside. So Lawrence didn't need the advantage. Capitalised well. The All Blacks are looking very good indeed. Stuck to their physical guns. They've played it up the middle. They've run good lines.
Slick and confident. Rai Kambula, 2 more points, 17 to 5. 2 converted tries, the target now for South Africa.
Well, he thought it might go down to the wire. It certainly is at the moment. Couple of missed tackles again from the Springboks. Gordon Titchens absolutely delighted, and rightly so. Deservedly so too.
Well, he said he'd got confidence in this new squad. Philip Berger cooled on for South Africa. They're reverting to the old game of pace, which served them so well in that second half with ball in hand a week ago. That amazing 5 tries in the second half without reply from the mighty New Zealand squad. Here is a man who could turn it. Danwell Damas. Dummies to Floors and knock on. Is it one of those days? As Dusty Noble fails to hold, the pass was a bit firm.
The pass was very firm indeed, into his chest really. Not too much Dusty Noble could do there. Dean was having a go, drawing the defence across. The pass had been good. There may well have been some space. Not an All Black defender or New Zealand defender in sight, but just not going South Africa's way.
We shouldn't underestimate how dearly New Zealand want a title back. Their last was Singapore 2005. Didn't make a final last season. But this is their 2nd in a row. Where did that come off? A knee, a knock on it is. Let off really for the Springboks.
Rakambila's coming, it came off his knee. It was awfully close. The changes come. Dusty Noble comes off. Tabela Mdaka comes on. There's loads of pace on now. Still some strength for South Africa.
He's been a good impact player, hasn't he, Mdaka?
He has, deceptively quick for a big man. Very strong indeed. Paul True looking rather concerned. Bearing in mind it's the final, there is still 7 minutes to go. Plenty of time. No, too early to panic, as they would say.
Problems with the microphone for Teizo, man who just adores the rugby. He's become quite a folk hero in Japan. He is sponsored by a pizza takeaway channel called Pizzala, who help him become professional and travel the world circuit. And here, Paddy O'Brien, who is in charge of the IRB's referees, has upgraded him to this signal honour.
That is fantastic.
The pressure's on South Africa here. They trail by 12 points. 7 minutes, though, It's a whole half of a normal non-final cup game. So here's Berger, terrific tournament last week, and elusive running. He's really hit top form. To Basson. Oh, it's a clever turn. Inside is Berger, they won't catch him. Hunt tries, but Berger's behind. Game is still on. And Philip Berger, who last week made up for a final error with a terrific second half performance. Gestures to the crowd, he is flying, and South Africa are back within 7, and Basson can make it 5 if he gets this conversion.
And that devastating partnership of Basson and Berger combining.
2 more points. Oh, this was superbly done by Basson. Look at that little pirouette.
Particularly when the footing's a little damp. Solomon King really had no chance once he'd slipped. And one of the Philip Berger celebrations, he's got a few.
I think when you do that, you chance fate.
I do agree with you.
Edwin Cocker. It's tremendous final, 17-12. The quality, the skills, the fitness levels too never cease to amaze. And the crowd rising to this, still hopeful. It's a 99% support for the home team here. New Zealand always have a bevy of supporters, but they're vastly outnumbered here, unlike Wellington, the next tournament in the new year. And they come again now with Pelanice against Damas. Damas did what he had to do, but he's gone down injured. The ball is in touch. There's a little bit of afters going on. The quick throw in is legitimate. Here's Mdaka and here's Basson on the loop. Players scattered on the deck, but play goes on and Berger's away. Berger against Hunt. Sheer pace. That's a fabulous tackle. Well, I said he's an outstanding all-round, and he's won the free ball. This is Cocker. Hunt, superb. Could have been a match-saving effort, that. He looks absolutely knackered, but he's still up on his feet again now. They've got an overlap here, but Damas is coming to the rescue. Pelanice, Solomon King, big tackle from Mokoena, and a penalty to New Zealand. Roll away.
Free green, hands in the ruck.
And hands in the ruck, in fact. Big decision.
Well, the discipline from South Africa has not been good. Daniel Demas was offside at the breakdown before. Jonathan Mokoena has given away the penalty this time. What a tackle from Nigel Hunt. Brilliant with ball in hand. Great pace. Quite possibly a match-saving attempt.
So many elements to the game of sevens, and tackling is a key. Oh, that's a brilliantly judged pass. Solomon King against Kabamba Floors. Great tackle in turn. Kabamba Floors saved the day then. Right into the corner flag. No try. And a penalty, in fact, given to South Africa. No time to think, no time to stop. It's away with Stefan Basson. He wants it in 15. Rightly enforcing that that law of the game. Damas, oh, that's a big spill. It's a New Zealand put-in instead of a long-distance Springbok counter-attack.
Well, that's the tackle from Kabamba Floors. As good as Nigel Hunt's was Kabamba Floors. Brilliant effort.
No injury.
Try saving. And then came the error.
Come on.
Errors have cost South Africa dearly in this final.
Let's go play.
Let's go play, says Tezo. We've got 2.5 minutes to go. It's 17-12. That's nothing of a lead. It's a try, but the next one could be critical. It's Nigel Hunt wide. He's worked it like a charm to Pelanice. That could be the one that brings New Zealand their first title since Singapore 2005. What a performance. And in this instance, South Africa were the authors of their own downfall.
Once again, you might say, errors from South Africa giving the ball away to New Zealand, and they need no second invitation. Well worked by the playmakers, well finished on the outside by Pelanice. And with only 100 seconds or so to go, that could well be the ball game.
Well, perhaps the fairy tale will have to wait for another year back in George. A superb riposte from New Zealand after being swept away. I know that hurt deeply, such a big margin of defeat for New Zealand, losing to South Africa 31-12 in the final in Dubai only a week ago in the water splash. But they're making amends in style here and have really thrown down the gauntlet for the whole series. A minute to play. That looks too big a hill for South Africa, even with their talent to climb. Stefan Basson. It's been so efficient, but Basson almost away himself. Van der Merwe. Hunt with the tackle, can't hold him. It's not over yet, not quite. Van der Merwe tries to take it right round. Fabulous riposte from South Africa. 24-17. Will there be time for the restart? There will. There's half a minute to play. Basson must not wait. It's just wide. It's 24-17. Converted try. Is this to be South Africa's last chance to take it into added time and sudden death playoff? They need the ball, that's all.
Well, for once, Nigel Hunt misses a tackle. Van der Merwe is big and strong. Carried it up strongly. Is it too little, too late, though?
Good take of the restart. Kick and knock on here. And advantage. Kicked away long and hard by Lockie Munro. Well, he might have been better placed to put it in touch, I don't know, because it gives the ball and a chance with Damas, but Munro follows up well. Here's Berger. Can they score from way out? The chance to try and take it into extra time. Basson. Everyone just on tenterhooks in the crowd. Kabamba floors. We're into added time. This will be the last play. A converted try is all South Africa can hope for now, an extra time. Berger chasing is Lockie Munro. Berger goes. Munro obstructs fairly, boots it away, keeps his cool, and gives, does he? Referee Hirabayashi looks to blow his, and does so. New Zealand have taken the title. A fantastic final, 24-17. Just look what it means to Gordon Tietjens and his squad. They came back from almost slaughter last week when South Africa won 31-12. Now they've turned the tables, and how? Efficient, cool, powerful, resolute. And they have won their first title since Singapore 2005. Their 41st final, their 26th title in all. And they have won here again in George, as they did 2 years ago. Joe Stransky, a great final, and all credit to South Africa, who took them to the wire.